Welcome back to another video, guys. In this video, we are fighting Neko. The main character I'd like to put showcase on for today is Estelle. So if you aren't too familiar, Estelle is a newer character. Her passive lets her damage share. So she takes quite a bit of the damage that your teammates would take and instead takes it herself. That mixed with her artifact, the My Little Friend I believe it's called, lets her reduce that damage that she's also taking. So not only is she heavily reducing the amount of damage your teammates take, but then she in turn takes that damage and reduces it even more. I like to use Estelle alongside Harsetti and Ruel into scouting Nodos, Renak, and Arnel. It's a very safe comp for scouting with. It is provided very slow, but the benefits is that its win rate is incredibly high. There's only like one or two ways you could beat that kind of scout, and they would have to be geared specifically for it, which is not very common at the moment. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the first attack. So for this first attack, we're going to be doing a Amid Cake Cleave. It's a team we commonly used before. The idea is Amid is on max speed. She's on Proof of Friendship, so that when she procs her extra turn, she gets to effectively double push the unit in the front. And the unit in the front is going to be the Hakate. Now Hakate's just on a 220 as much damage build on her own RD. She is also on a 50% CR push EE. That mixed with the Swift Attack from Amid makes it that after she has 3s, she immediately pushes up 100% again. In the back, we have our Vildred. Our Vildred is here as a speed imprint, but also as a damage. When the Hakate kills the Vildred, the Arbiter Vildred on the opposing team, it will proc our Vildred, which will proc his S2 passive into a push-up, and then also he'll get to S3 immediately after. It's an overall safe team, assuming you outspeed. This is scouted, so I should outspeed. For Team 2, we're just going to go with a... I guess it's like a turn 2 comp. The Arnel will go first, but we have just so much bulk that we won't die. So we have a 290 Yola. Nothing crazy. She's on the Ran already just to generate 10 souls on her turn. We have a 3F Ross on Pursuit set to increase the damage from 3F. And overall, it's just raw damage. He's going to get superhumanized by the Yola. And then we have a Sinji in the back purely just to stop the Nodos from reviving. He is on Holy Side. She's on Proof of Friendship to give our Ross in the front more HP. And then she's on Prod set just to give everything a barrier. It'll help to eat that Arnel S3. So the Arnel is going to hit into our Ross, which is why this is fairly safe because Ross cannot be debuffed. And then if she does fear anything, the Yoha will cleanse it at the beginning of her turn due to her passive. But yeah, we can get straight into it. So although this looks close, I believe they did calc the speed, and we should have been, we should have spent like, I believe 99% of the time, even though that may have looked a little close on CR bar. But here we can S2, and then we're gonna S3 the Hakate to give her the greater attack buff. Now this Hakate S3 should comfortably kill this RB. He has only about 8k HP. And that procs our Vildred. So now our Vildred can just S2, or sorry, S3. He does give himself attack and crit damage buff, so he does like insane amount of damage, and yeah, pretty clean, pretty simple. Let's get on to the second fight now. Here we're just going to superhumanize our Ross. So for this particular team, because the Estelle isn't on immunity, what we can actually do is we can S2 Soulburn into the Estelle. If we steal her, then we basically get rid of all of her medication, which will then make the fight even easier on our end. Because then that means the Arnel will also take full damage. All we have to do is kill the Nodos here, which I believe we should comfortably kill. Just because, again, we are superhumanized, so it does an insane amount of damage. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, pretty clean, pretty simple. I will see you guys in the second attack. So for the second fight, we're going to be fighting Taylov. The first team is similar to what we just previously used, using a max speed Amid on Proof of Friendship to double push our Hakate. We have a 220 Hakate on the 50% CR push EE. And then we have a Beline in the back. This is just to stop the free run from getting a shield. She's 240 on 3F. She probably won't even get a turn, to be honest, but she's just there as security. She we'll take the free run shield off so our Kate can just S3 the RB and then S1 into the free run and just kill everything. For team 2, we're just using All Reliable. We have Destro Fervor, Ludwig. We have a Horsetti that's close to base speed on book. And then we have a Zeo that's somewhat close to base speed on Destro Pen on book. The idea being Horsetti will bring everything to base speed. Zeo will take the first turn because of his passive. He can Soul Burn into the Nodos, which will then bring our Ludwig up next. And our Ludwig can Soul Burn S1, S2, S3, and that should kill everything. On the off chance anything lives, then our Horsetti will clean up. But yeah, we can go straight into it. Ideally for the first fight, we need to outspeed. I'm fairly confident that we're going to outspeed. Yeah, not even close. Here we can just S2. And then we can give our rear attack buff to our Hecate. So here we can S3 the RB. And then we can just S1 the free run. Now even if the witch does take a turn, it shouldn't really matter. Yeah, pretty clean. So for the second fight, this Nodos, I believe, is not on Holy Sack, but the other two units are just so insanely squishy that we can just all in on Nodos like we normally do. Pretty clean. I will see you guys in the final attack. So for this final attack, we're going to be hitting Kahida. So for this first team, because we are scouting it, we're going to be bringing a fairly safe comp. We're running a full tank Horsetti on Proof of Valor with a Ruel that's fairly close to base speed since our Horsetti is also base speed. Again, just full tank. Don't really need any ER on it for this. And then we are running a Destro Estelle. Now, she doesn't have like any crazy damage, but she doesn't really need to because this fight itself plays out very slowly. She's also on a plus 30 with the low friend to reduce the amount of damage she takes when damage sharing. For team 2, this team is a little bit weird, but it's because this defense is also a little weird. So we're going to be using a mid cleave. So a mid on Proof of Friendship, she's going to S2, S3. That should make our Hecate take the next turn. Our Hecate can then S3 and just straight up kill the Arbiter Vildred. And then our ARAM is going to take the following turn because she is somewhat fast. So she will then take the next turn. She'll get pushed up with Queen's Whistle as well, along with the mid push. And she'll reset our Hecate. And then our Hecate is just going to S3 the Estelle. I did damage kill again, and I'd like to believe that we do kill. I hope we kill. I'm fairly confident that we will. She doesn't have anything in her kit that stops her from getting reset. So once we kill these two, the Yenya is more or less just useless. Even if she does proc because there's no unit in the front, she won't really do any crazy damage. We don't need the 50% CR push either, so we're on damage reduction just to make this a little bit easier. And yeah, I think it's fairly safe, so we can just go straight into the first attack now. Or sorry, the last attack. So like before, with this comp, our kill order heavily depends on the builds. So what we do is we can just S1 into the Renak to start off. And as we can see, the Renak is not too tanky. So we'd probably end up killing the Renak first. Ooh, resist. I don't think we have any ER, so I was just really lucky. So Notice is gonna S3 here, basically bringing us to his realm, and now from here on out, we can probably just kill the Renak first since she's not tanky and she will probably end up doing the most damage to us. Killing the Renak is also nice because we know what the other two units on the team will hit. The Nodos will always hit the Harsetti, and the Arno will always hit the Ruel, just how Elemental Advantage works. So now that our Estelle won't take any actual direct hits and she only take damage sharing hits, it becomes a lot easier to manage her HP. So from here we can just S1 to heal up a bit. And we're probably going to kill the Arno next. In this comp, regardless of the builds, we always kill the Nodos last. The Nodos doesn't really pose a threat because the Harsetti is just so tanky, and along with the Ruel keeping her alive, she'll never take enough damage. One of the other benefits of this comp is that because we are using a Harsetti, even though the Nodos is in his own realm, his speed is capped. So the Nodos won't keep lapping and taking turns. So the turn order that we have now is going to be the turn order that's like set in stone. So here we can just probably S3 the Harsetti, because our S3 applies to both her and the frontline character, just to get them to full HP again. And here we can just hit, and the reason we S1 with Harsetti as well is because our S1 technically does more damage since it procs an extra attack. When she has full focus, I believe then her S3 does more damage, but it does take a while to build up those stacks. So now we're just hitting the Nodos. Not really much we can do here, to be honest. This fight's now just gonna be the fight of killing the Nodos in like 20 turns. But yeah, I will speed this part up for you guys, and I will see you guys closer to the end of the fight. And yep, so now we're at the end of the fight. It's fairly safe. I don't think I've ever lost with this comp. There is a way you can beat the comp, you just have to be geared specifically for it, but not very common that they gear for it. So here, the only scary thing is if this RB is really tanked down, but to be honest, our Kate has a lot of damage. Because on top of getting this greater attack buff, she's on Torrent, and she's getting a double SSS imprint for attack percent from both the mid and the ARAM. So like this should just do an insane amount of damage, to be honest. See, she also did have a skill note from a mid, so she doesn't take any damage either from this. And now we can just re-push her back up. Now, alongside with the greater attack buff, she does have exploiting weak points, which increases the damage further. So this should just kill the Estelle, to be honest. Yeah, 41k, it overkills by quite a bit, actually. So now the Yenya is going to proc here. Because Yenya doesn't have a frontline unit, it's not too scary. Like, we should easily and comfortably 1v3 into this. Yeah, we also get a speed buff. She only did about half, and like we're just gonna do way more damage to her anyway. Go try to soul burn this, see if we get the lucky proc. Oh, wait. Okay, well this is starting to add up a bit. Ooh. No, I'm just joking. It's again, it's not gonna lose because like we're on the damage reduction EE. But yeah, fairly simple. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you have any questions at all regarding E7, you can either comment them down below or reach out to me via Discord. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night.